Hi, thank you for joining in. Today we will be looking at the biblical worldview. Let's get started. Have you ever had or seen someone with a toothache or, let's say, with low? I have, and man, no bueno. It is not fun at all. It gives you headaches, body pains, and sometimes a fever. All of a sudden, we are no more able to do chores that we could so very easily do prior. In comparison to our whole body mass, it is just a little weeny tiny anomaly in a remote part of our body that totally messes up the functionality of the entire body. In like manner, just as God put his breath into a body of clay and it became a living soul, an integrated indivisible unit, so are our various aspects of existence: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all integrated and interrelated, so that what affects one affects the other. It therefore behooves us to take good care of every aspect of our existence diligently, the physical as well as the spiritual, mental, and emotional. Paul puts it this way: you are not your own, you were bought at a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. At the very beginning, prior sin, we were just chilling, taking walks with Jesus and his angels, catching up with Gabe on heavenly gists, but more importantly, we inherited the nature of God, meaning our appetites and preferences were in conformity with God. But at the entrance of sin, we lost these privileges and more, and fell short of the glory of God, inheriting a sinful nature. And what that means is that our overall preferences, appetites, and desires naturally became continually in sharp contrast to God's. Just like that tiny, weeny little toothache, this sinful nature has affected every aspect of our existence. And unfortunately, we will always have this sinful nature till Jesus comes. It is a propensity to do wrong always. This is how Brother Paul explained it. The carnal man is enmity against God, for it's not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can it be. So then, those who are in the flesh cannot please God. Now, that's a big problem. Just like you will treat a polluted stream from the point of contamination, God's approach to this problem is to begin at the very source in the renewing of our hearts to conform to his will. Why is that important? Well, temptation is not sin unless we yield. And every decision to either yield or resist the allurements of the sinful nature happens in the mind. So, if the heart is transformed to conform to the nature of God, though continually tempted by our inherited sinful nature, it is more inclined to resist over and over again until it becomes second nature. Neural pathways are formed and characters are developed. Now, what to remember here? 1. The brain nerves that communicate with the entire system of the body are the only medium through which heaven communicates to man to effect a change. 2. This renewal of our hearts is accomplished by the Holy Spirit of God as we willingly and intentionally daily respond in obedience to His promptings. Number 3. This exact same reason the Bible advises against the use of all substances that have the capacity to take control of the mind, because they compete for attention with the Holy Spirit of God. Number 4, this journey of transformation of the heart continues until Jesus comes, which, by the way, is closer now than when you first believed. So here is a summary of the matter. We do not belong here. We will be going home soon. But we cannot go there with any bad habits or luggage. The time to shed that excess weight is now, today. Tomorrow is not promised. Give the Holy Spirit of God a chance in your life. Next week, it is the judging process. I remain your Sabasco Doodle, and I'll see you next week. Happy Sabbath.